Hi, and welcome to yet another behind the scenes photo shoot. So today we are working on Pendulum, and here is the very first photo shoot idea. Okay, now first off, this is the very first cloth. The theme behind this one is that since the purple side, like the top left corner here of the pendulum board, since this is kind of representative of like a luxurious royalty type feel, what I wanted to do was encapsulate that by using similar themed objects. So here I have some purple royal cloth that matches the purple here. And here on the board we have an old school letter with some wax. So luckily I actually have been playing around with wax, so that works out nicely here. And then I also have some gold coins. Yes, these are plastic, but in the photos they won't really look plastic at all, and you won't see the dollar sign either. These are just used as accent pieces because my main subject today is going to be the sand timer. So here I have the sand timer along with the three meeples, the three giant meeples, and the purple timers here. So I have all of this staged in one corner. I have the cloth on the bottom. I have the letter that helps accent this piece right here along with the gold coins. And then my position is going to be from here. And I'm also going to turn on this light to get some backlighting right behind us. So actually let's turn that on now. So that helps, gives a nice sheen to all of the gold coins as well as everything else here. And then lastly, I'm going to hold this little light, not little, but I'm gonna hold this light stick right here as I take a photo. And the last thing I wanna do is to create some foreground. So in order to do that, I'm going to hold both sides of the tablecloth, or like this cloth piece here, whatever you wanna call it. I'm gonna hold both sides of the cloth so that way it helps hold in the foreground and create some leading lines towards my subject, which is going to be the timer. Okay, now for this next purple side, what I'm gonna do is I switch it over so the board is actually on the 1 to 3 player side to get some variety. So since Pendulum is all about sand and controlling time, what I wanted to do is to kind of accent sand, that way it's on the player board here. So just put sand over here and then also put sand kind of sprinkling in front of the camera to get a nice dreamy look over this little section here. So we're gonna take one just like this vertically, and I'm going to take it from the top. If I were to take it from the bottom, you can't see much of the board, and the whole point of this is to see as many components as possible. So I'm going to angle it right about here. And another thing too, before I even take the photo, I'm going to switch the sand timer. That way it's on this side. That way like the sand is kind of dripping as sand is sprinkling down, so it all accents together. Okay, so moving on to the next photo shoot. Now I know that the ideas as you're seeing it now kind of come back to back, but they really don't. It actually takes me hours, days, sometimes even weeks to think of ideas separately. And because I have all the props here ready and I'm kind of showing you after I figured out composing everything, that's why it feels like it's that easy, but it's really not. So now, here is the green one. So now this time I have a green tablecloth and I'm using it to wrap around the center of the top right corner of the green board. The idea behind this one is that now I want you to just focus on all of the components that are in the center. So I'm gonna stack up maybe a couple more grande meeples around here and in that little corner over here. But I just want a lot of pieces here. Another thing to note here, something I actually haven't mentioned before, is that when you're picking your main character pieces, you also want to make sure that you're picking the ones that are complementing your color scheme. So blue here is a bit harsh to everything that's being shown. So instead, I'm going to switch it out to the white. So white and black here help provide a neutral color palette to the green. And for the next green one, what I'm going to do here is I turn the board to the other side. So now I'm on the 4 to 5 player side. And that matters because now it allows me to show more of the grande meeples all at once. So here I have all those 3 lined up. Now I introduce the sand timer, and if I can incorporate it, I wanted to incorporate the voting tokens. And then lastly, I'm going to put in some of this green sand, but I'm not going to sprinkle it over like last time. Instead, I kind of just want to have a nice little spread of it right around here. I love using sand and all, but man, it is a pain in order to clean up. And what's also cool is that I'm going to use the plastic portion of this little sandbag. That way the left side of the frame is going to be a little bit hazy, a little bit of that dreamy look, instead of a nice clear foreground. And then time for the blue setup. So I know it looks kind of purple in the frame, but it's actually a blue cloth. It's a royal blue cloth. And I'm draping it across my boom pole here. And it's going to run down, and on the bottom here, the base, we have all the achievement cards, laid out here. I did put this one, so this one is the Grande versus the conversion of the Grande to the small meeple card. But I wanted to show the back of this card, which is why I'm reversing it here. And this is also going to make the main subject. So I have this nice yellow golden contrast here. And then I have the 3 cards laid out just to show more of the backs of the cards, since they look really good. It looks like the artwork behind these cards are really beautiful, so I really wanted to showcase that. And the last thing I'm going to do is hold 3 of the achievement cards right in front, so it provides a nice foreground just like that. So that way it kind of looks like you're about to choose which achievement card you're about to go for in your turn. And that was a behind the scenes look on the creative side of Pendulum. That is also Luna barking in the background. Comment down below which one's your favorite between green, blue, and purple. Make sure you check out the last video where I did a behind the scenes photo shoot of like the studio side of things. I'm also going to be doing a more structured, comprehensive guide on studio photo shoots in general, so make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you don't miss out on that. Happy Friday, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.